Hello Aquarius, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements looking at your recent past, current energy, and immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone, so do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Aquarius, we're going to start with pulling overall energy with oracle cards, and then we'll dive a little bit deeper into the story with tarot a little bit later on in the reading. But first, I'm going to start with overall energy for your recent past here, Aquarius. What have you guys been dealing with? Catch your breath with breakthrough. Interesting. Okay. Then you have bountiful harvest on the bottom of the deck. So that's the underlying here. I don't necessarily feel like this is in your energy yet, though. It's like this is all leading to this. This past energy, it kind of feels like the universe intentionally slowed you down in some type of way. Like you were heading down a path, and I feel like the universe either put like a blockage or something in your path to slow you down. And I don't necessarily feel like it was because you were completely on the wrong path or anything like that, but it does feel like there were certain things that you were needing to be a little bit more aware of, almost like some things that, you know, like when we're rushing and when we're just like going through the motions of our life and just going through our day-to-day and doing the same thing over and over, sometimes we miss signs or we miss opportunities. And sometimes what happens is the universe will slow us down in some ways so that we look at things a little bit closer. And I feel like that's what this period of your life was really about, or what things have been about recently. And the underlying is this bountiful harvest energy. So I feel like the universe is trying to bring you into a place of more abundance, but again, like sometimes we have to like slow down and look at things a little bit closer to see maybe what needs to change, or maybe we need to try something different, or I mean, there's so many different reasons, and we'll probably get more on this when we dive into tarot a little later on. But let's see where you guys are at currently. Current energy for Aquarius, please. Keep your dreams alive with illumination and infinite blessings. And then you have make a wish. We fell into complacency here, Aquarius. Complacency often looks like kind of getting into a place of our comfort zone and just existing there, even though there might be a lack of fulfillment or desires being fulfilled. It's not necessarily a bad thing, and I think that there are periods of our life where we kind of are meant to be in more kind of like consistent places. But I feel like what this is about in your current energy, and why something happened back here, was to get you to open up your heart and your mind to dreaming a little bit bigger when it comes to just situations in your life, or maybe one situation in particular. I feel like the universe is saying, almost in a sense, like you are meant to experience more, or there's better opportunities out there, or there's more, maybe more to life than just surviving or just going through the motions. I kind of struggle with this in my own life, how a lot of times I will get into the habit of just kind of going through the motions and not living as consciously or intentionally. And when that happens, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that, again, there are periods where we do really settle into routines, but eventually we hit a certain point where no more growth happens in that space. So the universe will push us, because we're here to grow, learn, evolve, right? The universe will will push us into situations where we're kind of forced out of our comfort zone so that we can step into newer opportunities and newer realities that are going to kind of align with our higher purpose or our highest good in some way. So I feel like in your current energy, especially with this illumination card, it kind of feels like certain paths are starting to open up for you. And with this keep your dreams alive card, it feels like these paths might have been paths that you either have given up on or that you really placed on the back burner for a really long time. And again, sometimes other things take precedent, like other things do take priority, and that's okay. But it kind of feels like the universe was like, no more complacency. Yes, you had this catch your breath card. I think that there was kind of this period of like, okay, everything's stable, but now it's almost like you're moving up. You're ready to level up. You're ready to step forward onto like the next thing or in this next phase of your life. And I think that this is a really exciting time for you guys. You might be like, I don't really know what this is talking about. I feel like that's going to come with just opening up your awareness to it in general. Because sometimes, we don't see opportunities when we're closed off to the possibility of them altogether. And sometimes when we start actually, existing in the conscious awareness of possibility, that's when we actually start to create the opportunities. So, I don't know. Some new path is opening up for you here, and I feel like you're definitely going to want to take it. Definitely going to want to take it. What does Aquarius need to know moving forward? Maybe it's a new job opportunity, a new relationship opportunity. Maybe it's about moving, traveling. Maybe it's something you've been wanting to do for a long time but haven't given it the time. Like it's like now is the time to do these things. And then you have, literally new experiences and possibilities. There's that make a wish with infinite blessings again. I feel like this is just kind of, it's almost like this to me is like wish fulfillment, right? Like I feel like right now is kind of like anything that you start or anything that you go after will lead you to some form of success. You have hope and happiness. You have the big picture. And then you have assurance. And this assurance card to me is always this reminder that you are so wildly supported by a spiritual team that even if you don't have conscious contact with, like they're still there. They've still got your back here. Universe has your back here. So there might be, and this might be what you've struggled with for a while. There might be a lot of reasons why you feel like it's not possible or you don't have the time or the money or the skill level or whatever the case is. And I feel like now is a time to really act or take a move on toward newer things, because whatever you act on right now, I feel like you're going to find quite a bit of success in. Because these opportunities, these paths that are opening up for you are very, very aligned. And I feel like this infinite blessings card is very much like so much more can come from this than I feel like you even realize. Like you might have a specific outcome in mind, but I feel like, a lot of times what we don't realize is opening up to a small opportunity can open up actually bigger opportunities, right? You put yourself out there and you make a new friend, and then that friend has connections for a job that you really wanted, and then you get that job, and then that's where you meet your partner. Like, and I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, but a lot of times what we don't realize is that one small step might actually lead us to the bigger picture that we're looking for. So this is really exciting for you guys. And I think that this is a time to really embrace new. Embrace the new. I think that can be hard and scary sometimes, but new is where possibility lies. And I think that this is very much about possibility for you guys. And I think that this is a very promising time in your life. Overall theme of this reading for Aquarius, let's see. What does Aquarius need to know in order to move forward in alignment with their higher self? Yeah, there's some sort of path. I don't know what it is. It's a path that maybe even has been there for a while, but like the next steps are being illuminated, or like there's maybe even spiritual downloads or ideas that are coming through that you're really going to want to act on right now. Inspiration of sorts, trust. With water. Water carries a lot of emotion. So there might be a lot of emotions tied to this path, to new opportunities. Maybe, I don't know, there's always fear of failure. There's, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, when we first start to view any situation, the lens that we typically as humans first view it through is the lens of our fears, our doubts, and our insecurities. And that's going to bring a lot of emotion, right? Fear, second guessing yourself, kind of starts to come from that place. And I feel like that's natural. I mean, there are always going to be times in your life, like your fear is never going to go away. Your second guessing is never going to go away. But eventually you get to a place where you don't allow it to make the decision for you. And you start to trust the bigger picture, trust the universe a little bit more, trust yourself a little bit more. And I feel like this is like really about trusting where you are being guided, because I think that wherever this is, whatever this is talking about, it's very aligned with you and your highest good here. So it almost feels like letting it happen in a sense. And I feel like maybe something had to end, or some sort of failure or loss had to occur here that's slowing down to almost present you with this opportunity. But let's see, Aquarius, let's go back. We're going to look at tarot now, looking at this past energy. What does Aquarius need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with their higher self about their recent past? The Four of Cups. Yeah, the Four of Cups is like focusing on the wrong thing, or like kind of even like distraction. Being distracted from the bigger picture, being like losing sight maybe even of a goal, of a dream. It can be complacency. Yeah, because there's inspiration. So there's, whatever this is, you've been divinely inspired to move forward in some sort of way. But I feel like this past energy is about being stuck. Yeah, there's a lot of anxiety here and a lack of fulfillment. Nine of Swords with the Sun in reverse here. And then this Star with the Six of Swords. Something had to happen to inspire you to move forward. To me, the Six of Swords is about getting unstuck. It can literally mean like movement or travel or relocating in some way. And then you have this Knight of Swords with the Ten of Cups. It's almost like, because to me the Knight of Swords is kind of, can be rushing around, like being really busy, just kind of like a lot of times, and these are kind of opposite energies in this context, where a lot of times when we're rushing around and we're just going through the motion of our life, we're actually missing our life. Our life happens in the small moments. It happens in the slowing down and in the embracing the little things. But sometimes we're afraid to slow down because that brings to the surface a lot of things that maybe we don't want to avoid facing or recognizing. And so we just keep kind of pushing through. But eventually the universe threw something your way, I feel like, to make you kind of sit with some sort of reality or some sort of truth or some sort of realization in some way. Or maybe it was literally an ending, or like I said, a loss or a failure of some sort. Just know that like whatever it was, you haven't lost. Whatever it was kind of feels like a stepping stone. It feels like something that was necessary to move you forward in some way. And I think that will become clear as if I get this feeling that some people might miss this opportunity. And that's okay if you do, okay? Because if you do, you always have the opportunity to be happy, abundant, successful, fulfilled. All of those things will always exist for you. But I feel like if you are someone who has a tendency to kind of rush through life and not sit in the awareness of it a little bit, this opportunity might pass you by, which is why I feel like you're being encouraged to slow down and encouraged to allow yourself to turn to your awareness a little bit more, to allow yourself to see the bigger picture and kind of look at what's going on. That's not like a warning. That's not like if you don't do this, you're going to miss this opportunity and your life is going to suck. Okay. That's not my readings will never be about fear mongering. I'm not saying that at all, but I do feel like this is really a time to slow down. It's a time to slow down, to allow yourself to be open to, like I said, new paths, new directions, new opportunities. It's not about pushing through right now. You've done a lot of that, okay? You've done a lot of pushing through. You've done a lot of, responsibilities and obligations and going through the motions and just getting through the day. That's not what this period of your life is about now. Okay, you've done that. We're not doing that anymore. Now we're living intentionally. We're living consciously. We're doing things that bring us joy. We're moving in alignment with divine guidance. We're choosing to take guided steps. And I feel like that's what you're being asked to do right now. So let's shift to your current energy. And it's not that you've been doing anything wrong, okay, at all. This is part of the human journey. But this is about, understanding that some of the best things in our life start whenever we recognize that either change needs to happen or that, because anxiety and stress and all of that is a natural way of your nervous system kind of saying or telling you like something needs to change. And sometimes we don't want to listen to that, so we distract ourselves from it. Current energy, and that's not always the case. There's so many different reasons why we can be anxious, but I feel like in particular, in regard to this reading, I feel like that's a lot of what this is kind of talking about. Current energy for Aquarius. Yeah, we're sitting in an energy of loss right now. And I understand that. The Hermit. Ooh. Yeah, there's the Tower, the Ten of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So, your world's been shaken up a little bit. And I think that happens a lot of the times to allow space for miracles and better things to come into our life. And I feel like that's what you don't see yet. And I think that that's why I said that I felt, what was it? It was the, wasn't Infinite Blessings, but it was the other one that was like talking about abundance. Oh my gosh, what? Maybe it's around here. Let me see. No, I don't remember what it said. But it was talking about abundance, and I was like, I don't feel like this is actually in your life yet. I feel like what you don't realize is that, yes, I feel like things have kind of been shaken up in your world, but I feel like it's for the best. And not in the sense that you need to look at it that way and just be so grateful for loss or for what's happening, but trying to trust, right? Overall theme, trying to trust that things are moving in the right direction or are happening for a reason. And I think that if you're able to do that, because the Hermit to me is similar to this like illumination card. It's kind of like shining a light on deeper truths or on things that you're needing to address, essentially, which a lot of times the Hermit is also talking about solitude and sitting in that stillness, and that solitude is typically what brings a lot of those things to your awareness. So I just feel like this is really a time, and I said this already, right, to be slowing down and taking almost like stock of what's going on in your life and trying to look at it from this place of, a lot of times when our life is changing, we're more afraid of the unknown than we are of the actual change, because our fear will keep us believing that things are always going to turn out for the worst. And I feel like whatever is changing, it's changing for the better, in a sense that there was a lot of anxiety. There was a lack of fulfillment here. It's not like things were perfect. Right now, that you never really get to a place when they are perfect, but I do feel like whatever is being shaken up is giving you space for new experiences and possibilities that are going to take you a lot further than you would have gone continuing to exist in this energy. And I think that that's what you're going to start to see with this illumination card, especially with the Keep Your Dreams Alive card too. I feel like don't give up on the dream, whatever that dream might be. That still exists for you. I just feel like it's going to take form in a different way than you expected. But at the end of the day, I think that you're going to be perfectly happy with it. But let's see. What does Aquarius need to know moving forward? Infinite blessings with new experiences and possibilities. things I've really learned about fulfillment and happiness, this is something that's coming through, is that it's not a future destination. You don't get there. There's never a point in your life where you're miserable for long enough until things eventually change. It's something that is consciously created. You know, fulfillment is about existing in a place of happiness and gratitude in the little day-to-day experiences in your life. And I think a lot of people place this idea that if they work their ass off now, or if they're miserable now, or if they burn themselves out now, eventually one day they're going to be happy. But what you put energy into, you get more of in the future. So for instance, if there was, like, this is an example that's coming to mind. Say that there was this job that you were working and you were miserable in this job, okay? You're working day and night, you're getting paid very little money, but you're holding on to this idea that if you work long enough, if you prove your value, eventually you're going to move up the ladder and then you're going to make all this money and life is going to be great, okay? But the thing is, that's not how things actually work, because when you get up there, you're still going to be doing the thing that makes you miserable. Your day-to-day experience is still going to equal what you're used to. And I think a lot of the times we have this idea that our life is going to change later on, and we get on this hedonic treadmill of reaching for that eventual future. But what we don't realize, and this is what I had to realize about my own journey, is that happiness and fulfillment exists in the present moment. If you are not happy right now with what you are doing, you have to be willing to address the day-to-day experiences to start to include more of the things that you enjoy, more of the things that bring you happiness and fulfillment. And what that often looks like is getting rid of the things that don't. And I think that that's what this experience has been about for you, is kind of this just transformation of letting go of the things that don't make you happy, even if you were holding on to the potential or the hope of them eventually making you happy in the future. Letting go of what doesn't make you happy to set the stage and open up your energy for what can and what will. But this is why I said not everybody is going to see this opportunity, because this is going to require you to approach your life from a very different place with a very different perspective, because right now is not a time to jump back in to something that is exactly the same as what has been lost. You don't want that. It needs to be different. It needs to be new, right? And I feel like that's what this energy is about, is there's a new path that's illuminating, but it's very different than what you're used to. And that's a good thing. So not everybody is going to take that path because the new is scary. But for those of you who do, it's going to pay off tremendously. For those of you who don't, you'll always have the opportunity again, okay? And maybe this collective and those that I'm speaking to are the ones that will. What does Aquarius need to know moving forward? But it's different. It's different than what you're used to. It's not replacing like this job that burns you out with a new job that burns you out, or this relationship that's unhealthy with a new relationship that's unhealthy. It's about doing things differently. This is kind of a hard message to deliver. Okay, what does Aquarius need to know moving forward? You're starting a whole new journey here, Aquarius, which closes out a cycle. It closes out a cycle, and maybe it's the cycle of things not working out, or a cycle of loss. And that's why I feel like, because it's new experiences and possibilities. So the Eight of Cups, the World, the Lovers, and the Five of Cups. I feel like there's grief and disappointment associated with what you're going through, because it's still a loss. Like, it's still, whatever this is, it still hurts, right? I'm not saying that it shouldn't. Remember, we started with saying water, right? Emotion. There's a lot of emotion in this reading. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean, just because it feels bad doesn't mean it is bad. And we can't always believe everything we think and feel. And I feel like on the other side of wherever this is taking you, because you have the Lovers here. And this is what it is you truly deserve. The Lovers, to me, is all about aligning with what you deserve. And so I feel like this is about, you're kind of in this transition period, about letting go of things, people, situations, jobs, careers even, that don't align with what it is that you really deserve, and going about things in a way that's a little bit different to open you up to these new things, but it requires you to do things differently. That's what you're being asked to do. And I feel like there's a specific opportunity and a specific path that's opening up for you that is it's gonna look very, very different than what you are used to. Take it. Well, I'm not gonna tell you exactly what to do, okay? It's your life. I encourage you to take it, because whatever it is, and it's good. It's a good, healthy path. And I feel like it's going to take you further than you'd even expect. Because again, you're closing out an old cycle here and stepping into a very new energy. I don't know. This is interesting. Okay, we're gonna hop on over to the extended. In the extended, I'm going to focus on what you need to do right now to move forward in alignment with your higher self. So we'll focus on a little bit more just kind of tangible advice. Any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, as always, Aquarius, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Aquarius.